Welcome to the Education Exchange. I'm your host, Superintendent Jeremy Calles, and with me here today is our principal of University High School, Vickie Landis. Vickie, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, I am the proud principal of University High School and happy to be here today.
All right, so let's talk all things U High. Pride of the West Side, definitely one of the top performing schools in Arizona. How about we start first with you just naming all of the accomplishments of University High, because I know they've been racking up a few extra ones lately.
All right, thank you. So in 2021, probably the award that we're most proud of because it is a national award, we were recognized as the National Blue Ribbon School. And that year, we were the only school in Arizona, the only high school in Arizona. So we're very proud of that. Recently, we have earned 2 awards from AP College Board. One for the level of what we offer and how the students achieve, but then also the access one because our students who achieve are reflective of our demographic. So we are defying the odds. We are also named on U.S. News and World Report, one of the top high schools in the state as well as the nation. Of course, we are an A school in the state of Arizona, and those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
So definitely one of the best schools around. All the students there doing great academically. What is that leading to for their post-secondary success? So where in recent years, name some of those colleges you've seen some of your students going off to after they leave U High.
They go all over the United States. So we have kids in Columbia, Swarthmore. There's been kids in Stanford, kids in Harvard. They go all over the United States, and they're also successful at our local colleges, our state colleges, and our community colleges, and the military as well. We have a 96% persistence rate. So what that means is 96% of our students who go to their first year in college return their sophomore year to college as well. That is well above the state and national ranking, and that's something as parents that we might be concerned about when we send our kids off to college. Are they ready? Are they going to be successful? And we have proof that our kids are successful at whatever they choose to do.
Now, I know that firsthand because I got a stepson who graduated from U High, and now he's wrapping up his physics degree over at University of Arizona. But I know one of the things, when he was going through U High was that it's very intense, very rigorous. Talk a little bit about that expectation, because U High also has that reputation of, like, if you're going to U High, you've got to be prepared to work. So what exactly does that look like for our students? How much homework are they facing daily?
So I've heard a parent say we are the Navy SEALs of education, and there is a lot of homework and a lot of rigor, and we're very upfront with parents in the beginning. So what we say is what you can expect is about 2 hours a night of homework. And so every class there is AP level, college level, dual enrollment, advanced. So with that, we are really preparing. And like I mentioned before, we have that 96% persistence rate. So we are teaching our students to be successful, to meet the needs and the rigor of academics, as well as how to be successful with planning, a calendar, monitoring homework, but also how they can be successful with the things that they want to do as far as clubs and sports, because as you know, you can go to University High School and also you're part of the Tolleson campus. So everything that is available at the Tolleson campus is also available to the University High School. So we're teaching them to be successful academically as well as socially and in all other realms of the complete experience of high school.
So really balancing out the whole child. I mean, you're a grit ninja, but you're also a Wolverine, playing on some of those teams. How successful have you seen your students be with being able to bring that balance, with being able to do things like participate maybe in the football team or performing arts, while at the same time still being able to keep up with all their studies that are required by University High?
Yeah, so it's difficult. And so the coaches and teachers are willing to work with our students, and those schedules are difficult. So they might come in super early and do have like a 0 hour where they're having a study hall and working in a room. Our teachers or our coaches are also understanding and allow our students to go to tutoring in the afternoons as well. So we have some great after-school programs that have tutoring for an hour after school, and also our Beyond the Bell or 21st Century program. So there's a lot of supports that they can have. We have a Grit Ninja or a Grit Guru. I'm going to start that over. We have a Grit Guru club, and our underclassmen are matched with upperclassmen, and they help those students along the way as far as tutoring and any other questions that they have. We also have peer mentoring as well, and so every period we have a student who's available to help other students. We have Title I tutoring, we have Beyond the Bell, we have a full-time social worker, we have 2 guidance counselors, so we have a ton of supports to help all of these students be successful in every endeavor.
Now, I'll tell you that, so that the reputation of the rigor is out there. I have a cousin, she's gifted. I said, you should be looking at going to U High next year. They have advanced placement courses. It's a perfect fit for you. And she shied away from it, thinking that it was going to be too hard. So for our students out there that are thinking about University High, and they're concerned that maybe it's going to be a little too tough for them, how do they know? How do they know that U High is the right fit for them? How does a student think about where they're at academically, where they want to be academically, and decide I need to be at U High?
Well, first of all, we encourage all kids who have the aptitude and the attitude to come and try it. If it doesn't work out for you, there's always a safe place for you in our district. However, we start them off slow their freshman year. They do take one advanced placement class their freshman year, and that prepares them. And that teacher helps build their responsibilities as well as their homework. So we start off really slow with them and introduce things as they get a little more mature. We start off with the 7 habits as well, and we talk with them about executive function and how to plan their successes. So again, it starts off slow, and every year it gets a little bit more difficult until they're flourishing. And our kids do flourish. And again, you can go to an Ivy League, you can go to a school that is out of the state, or you can stay local and be successful. So you don't always have to, just because, we're not all going to Harvard. We can go to our local community colleges and be successful. The other thing that this does is it opens up a lot of opportunities for our students for scholarships when you go to University High School and you commit to this network of not only students, but alumni as well, who can help encourage and flourish these opportunities.
So coming over to University High in your freshman year helps set the foundation. You're working on all those study habits and getting them to start to develop that discipline that they're going to need to continue to be successful as upperclassmen. But I know with that, you will still have students who start to fall a little behind, having a little trouble keeping up. What do you do for interventions to help those students that if you see that they're starting to trail back a little bit, that you pick them right back up and get them right back on pace?
Sure. So we do have a support class for students who are struggling, and those are matched with a highly qualified teacher who spiral and help them with their English and math skills. We also have RTI, so we have a flex every day for 25 minutes. Our teachers select and have priority days where they can work with our students as well. Again, I mentioned Title I tutoring, where there's small groups and or even sometimes it's one-on-one tutoring where they can get that attention. We work in PLC, so our freshmen, for example, you started off with a freshman. Our freshman team keep track of students and monitor their growth. We also have academic consultation nights, so we do more than just open house. We also have 2 academic consultation nights throughout the year. So parents come in and they can have these consultations with teachers. We are available to them. We have meetings with parents upon request as well, or we'll reach out to them and bring them in if they have any questions or concerns. And again, our counselors are wonderful. They work with kids on those planners, making sure that they fill it out, put their assignments in, and that they're really being closely monitored. So, one of the big factors is a cell phone. And so sometimes our students say, hey, I have 3 hours of homework tonight. do we really have 3 hours of homework? Or are we getting distracted by our cell phone, right? So we also talk to them and their parents about appropriate use of that and their help managing that at home as well. So we have something called Parent University, and we also bring our parents in and talk about ways that they can support our students as well.
So you touched on a good handful of things there. The flex period where we have the 25 minutes during the day to do some focused response to intervention. You touched on RTI, the use of professional learning communities. A lot of those concepts we see in the comprehensive schools around the district, that they are using some of those same focuses as well. But then you brought in a couple elements that are unique to U High. We don't necessarily see being used the same way at the other campuses. So you talked about the academic consultations, the parent university. In addition to whatever the expectations are going to be for the student, as a parent of a student that's going to be going to University High, what should a parent be expecting when their student enrolls in the University High? How much involvement is expected from that parent? How much of their time to help their student be in the best position to be successful at U High?
Great question. So we talk to them about being true partners, and I start off when we have our first night and we're meeting our incoming freshmen. We'll start off and maybe even have some of our parents on the stage and do a panel with them about what is it to be a university high school parent. So we do expect you to be involved. We expect you to know and understand the workload and be supportive. And some of these conversations are as simple as, how can you provide a workspace for your student at home? One where they can focus on their learning, because households can be very busy with other kids and other responsibilities. So number one is just providing that workspace for them. Number two, how can you support them with their management of time? So we talk to them, maybe there's a big birthday party for grandma over the weekend, but we got a paper due, all right? So let's just make sure that we are communicating with the family to ensure that we're monitoring and we can enjoy our family and do all the birthday parties and all the things, as well as plan for our academic success. We also talk to parents that sometimes a student can get overwhelmed, and we need them to step in, communicate with us, and say, we're not going to work this weekend, or we're not going to work tonight because the child is overwhelmed right now and we're going to take a break. And so we work with parents on that as well. Again, counselors and a full-time social worker to help parents adjust to that and communicate with our kids. So we're all working together as a team, because we all know that students are more successful when we are a community. They always say it takes a village to raise a kid, right? So we work with our parents to ensure success. And I send out a weekly parent update, and on that, and we're serious of reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns. Miss Mario's in the front office all the time, or our parents come in, and she is bilingual, and she knows our parents really well. They come in, they chat with her when they're signing kids out. So it's also about building those relationships with parents. When they call their student in, they know Miss Mario, they know her by name. She'll have a little conversation with them, so we get to know one another really well.
So a very collaborative effort between the school, the parents, the student, really balancing out, making sure that you're pushing the student to their limits, but at the same time not beyond those limits, and knowing when you need to scale back. A very thoughtful approach. Now, what are the plans for University High going forward? Anything you're excited to share about the future of U High with our parents and students?
Sure, yeah. So I actually had a freshman come up to me the other day and say, are we getting a new building? So I said, yes, I believe we are getting a new building. And he wanted to know if he will get to be in the new building. So he's a freshman. I said, maybe by your senior year, if everything goes well. So we are excited to be a part of that. So it is sometimes difficult in this competitive nature in education to continually seek out these large numbers of highly talented freshmen who want the max of their opportunity to go to these big schools outside and to get scholarships. And so what I think that will do is it will bring us more of a presence in Tolleson. We'll have a storefront, if you would, on Van Buren, and I think that will help us stand out more. Right now, our number one successful recruiting is word of mouth and our families. So it's not uncommon, like if we have the alumni in or parents, we say, how many siblings have gone here? How many cousins have gone here? A lot of the same names. That's how we're most successful. So a new building with, a storefront, I think that will help us gather more students and celebrate our presence in the West Valley.
Well, I'd agree with you. I think your incoming freshmen will be, or your current freshmen maybe would even be around in their senior year to see the opening of that new building. It's trailing right behind the new special education building that's being built at the campus, and then we'll have that University High building being launched. In addition to the new building, any other like new programs, new concepts, anything being introduced in the upcoming year? Anything you guys are excited about?
Sure. Miss Burns has just started in STEM, and so a lot of STEM activities. There's drone competitions. That's something that's building. Of course, robotics has been there a while, and they continue to participate and compete in the robotics challenges. We brought back speech and debate last year, and our students are being successful at that. So that's something else that's happening as well. And then last year we went to Worlds for Odyssey of the Mind, and our students are continuing to compete in those programs. So some of them have re-involved, but and some are new, and we're continuing to seek that out and enjoy the successes from it. And it's really fun to watch our kids compete and be successful, because it really is, they really show off their gifts and talents, and it's not just about academics, it's also about community and being part of something that's much bigger than themselves.
Yeah, so they not only get to learn these high levels of academics, but put them to practical use right away with your robotics, your drones, and even debate competitions. A lot of great successes. Uh, what what would you say is the thing that you're most proud of that you, since coming to University High, have put in your own touch, your own spin on how U High does business? Like, what are some of the changes, initiatives that you're proud of?
Well, I think it's in partnership with the district. It's adapting to the changes of coming through the pandemic and recognizing the fact that there was a large gap of what kids received during that time. And so embracing our RTI time, where we have kids come in where they're not necessarily receiving direct instruction, but they are being supported every day in something that is challenging to them, and having their teachers work with them and scaffold that learning. So that was a big part of it. University High School didn't used to take transfer students, so you had to start your freshman year and continue. So we are now taking transfer students, and because of that National Blue Ribbon, which the school has always been worthy of one, however, we really went after that. It opened up some other doors. So we have students who seek us out, moving from other parts of the country and even other parts of the world. So we have a meeting this week with somebody who's moving to us from Germany and bringing her students. So that National Blue Ribbon has really opened doors and accolades for us. We just continue to evolve to meet the needs of our ever-changing society.
So coming all the way from Germany, that's interesting. Now, how much diversity is at the school? So you're seeing these students come in from Germany. You're National Blue Ribbon. You have all these people that know about you now. You're not exactly hidden over there. What do you see on your campus? How much diversity do you have on the campus?
We have a lot of diversity, kids coming from all over the world as well. They're speaking multiple languages. So when we send out our newsletter on Sunday night, it goes out in every language, in every home language, so that our parents can understand what is happening. We reach a very diverse a group of kids, and we celebrate those diversities. And that really happens a lot in AP Human Geography, where they share their stories and they share their food. It continues in world history as well, where they continue to share their background information. And it really brings us closer together and respects one another's cultures and forms this community where we appreciate one another. Um, in our award, where we are top 10 in Arizona, we are the only Title I school district that has a diverse background of students. So when we look at the other ones, we know that we are being successful because we're challenging students and we're giving them an opportunity to bring their gifts and have conversations, strong conversations, where they're appreciated for what they bring to the table. If you are, and I know you are on social media, we have a student who is from Rwanda, and he has his own Instagram page, Cooking with William, and he has 1.5 million students or followers. And he's somebody that you could follow too. That is the epitome of diversity and appreciation of what it's like. We got to see him travel to Rwanda during fall break and put his shows on for cooking then, and then bring it all here. And so I know that he got to serve at a meeting here the other day at the district office, and people have started that conversation. And I see him cooking not only what he makes in his country, but all the things that we make here. And so food is another way that we can also share our interests in our cultures. And we have a very successful culinary program on the Tolleson campus, which partners with the U High as well.
Yes, and I actually got to meet him the other day, and I got to see all of his pictures with Gordon Ramsay when he got brought on as a guest judge for the show. So very interesting, and I was pretty impressed with all those followers he has on his page. So definitely, an international presence with U High. But when we bring that back locally, one of the other interesting things that we do with University High is that if you are anywhere in the Tolleson district, we will provide you transportation to the school. For a lot of our schools, we only provide transportation when you're within that specific school's boundary, but the boundary for U High is essentially the entire district. And so I think it's important to note that you can have this experience that's being sought out nationally, internationally. You'll get transportation all the way to the school if you're right here in one of our neighborhoods.
True. And what our transportation department has been doing is if you can just get to our closest bus stop, we'll pick you up from our closest bus stop and bring you in. We also have families who carpool together too. So sometimes we'll run into them at a gas station or something, and they're grabbing their breakfast and heading in. So they do carpool. If they can find a way, they get here.
All right. So really going out of the way to make sure that we're making it as convenient as possible for those families where you want to see your student achieve their highest academic potential by getting them into U High. We're trying to make that as available as possible. Also at the school, I believe out of the schools that are in the top 10 with you, University High is also the only school that offers free breakfast, lunch, supper when you're staying for their extracurricular activities.
And what I like to say is we run the buses 3 times at night. So if you happen to be done at 3:12, you can go home. But you can stay another hour for tutoring, then go home, or you can stay 2 hours and then go home. So there's a lot of opportunity in there to enjoy after school, either tutoring or events.
So a lot of additional supports for all of our University High students who are there not just to be successful in academics, but be successful as a whole child.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any last words for our parents, our students who right now may be on the fence about coming to U High? Anything you'd like to share with them about how they can get more information, how they know they'll be successful, and where should they go next if they're on the fence? They want to know more about U High.
So first of all, there is a rumor out there that you have to apply. So we are an open enrollment school. We are very open and talk about our expectations, share with you the freshman plan, and we also give tours. So if you're still unsure, come on in. We'll give you a tour. We'll introduce you to our upperclassmen, and you get to go in and watch a freshman class and see what that's like. So come on in and give it a try and have conversations. Our counselors are available for talking as well. We encourage anyone to come in and give it a try.
Well, you're definitely setting everybody up for a bright future, going all the way from Stanford to Harvard. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you coming on the show to share more information with our parents and students. And we appreciate all of our listeners for tuning in once again to the Education Exchange, where we aim to enlighten our parents and empower our students. And we're looking forward to seeing you again next time.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, want more information, or would like to be a guest on the Education Exchange, please send us an email at podcast@tuhsd.org. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and tune in next week to the Education Exchange. You can catch all episodes on your favorite streaming devices or directly at www.tuhsd.org/podcast.